So, hi, this is Chris Dillard with Brian Smith with ComicUI here. We're here with Jonathan Hickman at C2E2. How's everything going, Jonathan?
It's good. It's been a busy day.
I bet so. It's first day here. Have you been here before?
I did this show the last time. It was 2010.
Oh, okay.
So it's like quadrupled in size. It's been pretty impressive.
So that's about the first year. So yeah, it's grown quite in size. So we got a couple questions here regarding your work as a writer.
All right.
So first thing is, every story we've seen that you've written for Marvel seems to be culminating in Secret Wars coming out here. That's the big thing. How far out do you typically plan your stories?
It depends. Depends on the story. The germs of Secret Wars, we came up with that in like when I was doing Secret Warriors. So that was like 2008, 2009. So it's been a while. But there's no guarantee that you're going to get to do a book that you kind of plan out for a really, really long time. So, but it was always in the back of my mind.
Okay, awesome. And also like East of West and stuff like that. I mean, how far out do you have that planned?
East of West will go to issue 50. Like we know the ending of that.
Okay.
We're pretty happy with both our progress and how people seem to like it. Like East of West is a pretty successful book, and so. That's cool. We'll get to the end of it. Everybody will get to see us pull the curtain down on that book.
Awesome.
Manhattan Projects is all over the place. We'll do it for as long as we can. No ending. Just we have to, we'll have to die or
just
something.
Have fun with it.
So,
Awesome. So a couple questions. You've written established characters. Again, we're going back to Marvel. You've written characters that have been around for years.
Sure.
But then you've also created new characters. East of West, Manhattan Projects, and even in Secret Warriors and your Avengers run. Do you feel more comfortable writing the established characters or creating the new ones as you go?
It's different. It's two different jobs. Working at a place like Marvel where they're in the business of long-term IP and maintaining the integrity of the IP and all that kind of stuff. It's totally different than coming up with something on your own, and it can be a short story or a longer story, but it's not going to be 60 years or 50 years, So it's just different. It's a really different kind of writing.
Okay, so how about creating new characters in that series where the for Marvel, who's not known for usually creating new characters? They usually use ones they have.
Yeah, I try not to.
Okay.
Because I won't own them.
Yeah.
And if we're being honest, the fans that read those books, they want to read about they want to read about Tony Stark. They've seen the movies.
Yeah.
They want to see Iron Man.
Right.
They're not really interested in aluminum alloy man or whatever thing that Dan Slott comes up with next, right? So, it's just different. It's just different.
Awesome. Go back to Secret Warriors. Many of your Secret Warriors ideas are being translated into Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't know if you've known that or not. Whitehall and Daisy Johnson and so forth. Do you think this is a compliment to your work, or do you think are they doing maybe wrong translations of it? Do you have any ideas, or have you seen any of that?
I don't watch the show.
Okay.
Because I've been so busy writing books. I'm really behind on everything. But no, I'm when I make something for Marvel, it's Marvel's. I mean, there's no confusion. I hope they're getting it right. If not, they should get it right.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Are they getting it right? Are you watching it?
I do. I feel like these are very adept interpretations.
Okay.
They're not verbatim, and I think that bodes well that they're able to translate them.
What all shown up?
Leviathan has shown up.
Oh, okay.
Like Daniel Whitehall. I'm trying to think of other things. Agent Carter had I can't think, Zodiac.
Okay.
I know that's existed beforehand, but they used it in Secret Warriors. Daisy Johnson for the first time. They just used her name for the first time last week.
Okay.
So things like that. I know more's coming along the way.
Okay.
So
cool. I think all the bad guys from the Infinity stuff are showing up in all the cartoons too.
Okay.
No, it's cool.
Yeah, actually, they're in video games right now. I know,
Okay.
they're using the Marvel mobile games. They have the Infinity going on.
Okay,
so
cool.
That's awesome. So in the Marvel world, you have the Avengers. That kind of encompasses every character you could possibly have, right? There's a lot of characters have been on the Avengers. Is there a character you wish you could write that you haven't gotten a chance to write yet?
No, not really.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, it's no, I mean they've let me do about everything I wanted to do. I would like to do some X-Men stuff at some point, but saying that, it's not a priority for Marvel anymore, and so I'm probably not going to end up on the book. I mean, they want me to do big stuff, so who knows?
Yeah, that's fine.
Who knows?
So, you've done some events in the past, Infinity and stuff like that. You're getting ready to work on Secret Wars, or you probably wrapped up Secret Wars. How do you handle the scope and the scale of these larger projects, like juggling everything else that's going on? How do you find yourself working on those projects? What keeps you sane through those?
Usually, my editor, Tom Brevoort, shields me from all the crazy stuff that's going on. And he handles all of that and just wants me to write the book that I'm working on. Infinity wasn't difficult from a lot of different things pulling at me. Right? It was just a lot of work. Same thing with Secret Wars. It's just a lot of work. But no, Marvel editorial does a good job handling all of that.
Awesome. That's great to hear. How much research goes into the stories you write? I know in New Avengers, they kind of the Black Swan uses a form of Sumerian language early on, and that's not. It was pretty accurate for the most part. So how much research goes into that?
We got a letter from a professor in Germany who was very upset at our poor Sumerian. So apparently not enough. But I mean, you do some research and then the rest of it you make up. You do enough to make it feel sort of real, and then you do your job.
Okay.
So.
No, that's a great answer. Does putting characters in stories they can't win shed new light on their true selves? I mean, going back to your Ultimates run, the first one, they're going up against Reed Richards, who obviously defeats them at every turn. And in Secret Wars, you say that no one's going to win the last incursion. So it seems to be a trend. Is that something you do on purpose to put the characters in?
Yeah, I think sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. I think it's interesting that the default position of everybody for the longest time was that there was going to be a solution to the problem. And they were wrong, which is a good way to surprise the reader. But no, I mean, I don't think it's interesting. The reason why Rocky movies work is because he gets the hell beat out of him.
Okay, yeah.
And so I think there's some validity to that. Maybe they get up.
Yeah.
Maybe they lose. We'll see.
Yeah, we definitely look forward to that. So some of your stories also don't have villains in the traditional sense. Why do most of these heroes end up warring against each other? Is that something also you...
Well, I think it depends on what book you're talking about, and I think it depends on what villain. Clearly, Thanos is a villain, and he's always written as a villain, and even though when Jim Starlin writes Thanos stuff, sometimes he's kind of like the hero. And some of that's just... at Marvel, we have complex heroes and complex villains. It's never white hat, black hat, and so... when I write Doctor Doom, I don't. It's more interesting when you don't write him as the bad guy. It's more interesting when you write him thinking he's the good guy. So it's more fun that way.
No, I agree. So we've noticed some of the '80s Marvel comic stories seem to inspire your current Marvel run. What connection does that have to you? We can point out New Universe definitely has played a lot on when you took over Avengers. What was the other 80s stuff we talked about?
Starbrand.
The New Universe. Yeah.
Well, a lot of that stuff was because Warren did the New Universal series, and I thought he did a brilliant job with it, and nobody was using it, and I was like, well, I'll use it. But no, I mean, I was a kid in the 80s. Everything in the 80s is important to me.
Yeah.
So. Can't get away from that stuff.
Yeah. Oh no! I mean, I agree. New Universal is a great series. It's underplayed, and going into Secret Wars again, another '80s series. That's great. Lastly, for me, is there anything hidden in your comics that fans haven't uncovered yet that you could share with us? I know like you like we've seen that you like to lay things out earlier in advance that come into play much later.
The answer to that is yes, but no, I cannot
But
share.
no,
it
you
with
can't tell us that.
Yes.
Okay, great.
I'm sorry.
No, you're definitely fine. You have any questions, Brian?
How did you feel the reception was to your Ravam reveal?
Well, the cool thing about it is almost no one saw it coming. Like we did a really good job of, like I think if you tell a mystery story nowadays, you almost have to reveal everything after the fact, or people are going to guess it. Because with the internet, I mean, everybody's talking about it. Somebody will come up with the right answer. So you got to be careful. But no, I mean, I thought we did a really good job. I think it makes a lot of sense when you go back and read the old issues and see where we were headed. And then when this last issue of New Avengers comes out before we get into Secret Wars and you see what all Doom has been doing all of this time, then it'll be like people will really get it. And then we're in the Secret Wars and we'll see what happens.
Awesome.
One final question I have is you talk a lot about scope, and with writing in such a large scope, do you have any interest in writing more for movies or Marvel movies specifically?
Well, Marvel would have to ask us to work on that kind of stuff. But yeah, sure. I mean, I'm doing some of that stuff now. So whether I succeed at it to the extent that I've succeeded at comics, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe. Who knows? But I love doing comics. I'm perfectly happy with how things are. So
awesome. Well, thank you very much, Jonathan. We appreciate your time here and you answering our questions for us.
Sure. Cool. Good to be here in Chicago.
Yeah, thanks.